This is a serious matter. Why you laugh? We Chinese don't laugh. We Chinese serious people. We don't make jokes.
Calm down. Calm down.
Cultural Revolution. Down in period USA.
Do we need to take a break here? Should we take a break?
It's okay.
Yeah, because I don't like that at all. I don't respond well to that. I just walk away. Yeah?
To where? This is USA.
No, I just go out of the room.
Go to China.
I go out of the room.
Okay.
Because that's an example of my right to not listen to you. Just because you have a freedom to speak doesn't mean I have to listen to you.
Especially in your house.
In my house, I can leave the room or I can ask you to leave.
So, you're talking about privilege.
It's a privilege, not a right.
Okay. Please explain to our viewers what is a privilege and what is a right. What is speech, freedom of speech in YouTube, and what is a privilege to speak in your channel?
First off, we have to get away from the concept that you're in the government. You're dealing with the government. Okay? You're not dealing with the government when you come to YouTube. YouTube is Google. It's owned by Google. It's a company. It's not government owned. Mm-hmm. Now, we are the ones who have a contract with Google. Mm-hmm. You do when you signed up for an account to comment, and you agreed that you would follow rules that YouTube has for posting your comments, and we agreed for posting our comments as well as our content, our videos. Okay, so our content is original, blah, 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 all these things. Now, we have our channel on YouTube. We have the contract with Google, with YouTube. We don't have a contract with you. When you come to our channel, that is our house in the community of YouTube. Now, there are HOAs. Say it's an HOA. So it's a homeowners association is YouTube. We're following the rules of the homeowners association. We can't paint our house pink. Something like that. People come to our house.
But we can have parties, invite people to our house.
Of course. And the people can come to our house and we tell them, take off your shoes. And in that case, I mean, leave your bad language at the door. Don't bring your bad language here. If you bring your bad language here, or if you harass people and you're mean, then I can ask you to leave. And I don't have to ask you, actually. We are extending that privilege. We are being kind and we are being polite by saying, can you please stop talking like that? Can you be nice to people? And we'll do it in a very subtle way. And I do expect people to be intelligent enough. If you figured out how to use a computer, how to climb a wall, and then to watch our videos and comment, then you should be intelligent enough to be able to speak to other commenters as well as us in a polite manner. Because when you start to curse and act stupid, when you start to act like that, people don't want to talk to you. And we will block you because you're offending people that are our audience and other people who come to enjoy themselves. People come to enjoy themselves, not to be harassed.
Okay. It means that first you have to learn how to respect. You respect, you behave good. So this is the difference between right and privilege. Privilege, you have to earn it. You have to work on it. And it's you rewarded that you come to my house, we welcome you, and you behave well, we welcome you to be a guest here. But if you don't behave, you disturb the atmosphere, you make other people unhappy, make the party not good feeling, we ask you to leave.
Yeah.
So that is privilege is something you can earn and it can also taken away.
Yes.
You have your freedom of speech on YouTube. You set up your own channel. You follow the law of YouTube. You say anything you want.
But it's not. There is no freedom of speech on YouTube. YouTube is private. Freedom of speech is only guaranteed by the government.
Okay.
That's what you're not understanding. YouTube is not the government. YouTube is a privately owned company. That's why they have rules. They don't want mean people and harassment. That's why they will remove people if they're reported for being that way. Because this is YouTube's homeowners association, and you can't paint your house pink. YouTube doesn't want to see people harassing others. Okay? They remove videos all the time that violate their terms and conditions.
Oh, I understand. Same like the meeting of Conservative Party in England. Okay, the Chinese reporter, when they stood up and started to shout. Okay, so she thought, I'm a journalist. I have my right, have a freedom of speech. I can speak out. But it is a private meeting. It's in somebody's house. You have the privilege to be invited to sit there to listen. Okay, and you are not entitled to shout.
Okay, let's give another example. Now, if someone goes even on the news and they say some bad things about an individual person, and to the point where that person would get in trouble, okay? Or it would damage their reputation, they lose their job. And there is no basis for that. Okay, they lied or they made it up. The person who said those words, they might claim freedom of speech. But what they need to know is that when you lie or defame a person and cause harm to them, losing their job, maybe they got a divorce because of it, or something like that, then the person who said it is the one who gets in trouble. You can't just go around saying nonsense. You can't just go around hurting people and lying about people and claiming things when you have no basis for it. Then you are held responsible for those lies and for the damage that they cause to another person. So freedom of speech is very specific. Okay? I can protest my right to my rights. I can protest and speak out and talk about the rights of others, and I can do all of these things, but I cannot badmouth people to make them look bad. I can, but I have to have a basis. You can't accuse them without facts. It's just like a trial.
Or threaten people.
And threaten people. You can't threaten people. A death threat is taken very seriously and can be reported to the police, and then that's on your record. And if something happens to the person, you're going to be the first suspect.
Okay, it means that there's a line between freedom of speech and breaks the law. Okay.
Yeah, it's basically being a civilized person and being an uncivilized person.
So it means that you can say, I don't like Trump. I don't like his policy. You can even say, I don't like his look.
Yeah.
Okay. You can say your personal feeling, but you cannot threaten people with any their life. Okay, and you cannot make lies. You cannot say someone have 10 wives at the same time or things like that to damage somebody's reputation by lies. Okay, so that is breaks the law. And freedom of speech does not mean that you can say anything you want.
No. And people, again, need to realize that freedoms are part of our rights, okay? But you are responsible for using those freedoms properly and responsibly, like an adult.
Okay, let's come back to the privilege and the rights differences. See, for example, WTO. Okay, WTO is a trade organization organized by people, organized by countries. They agree with each other. They join in. Okay, the people being a member has a privilege. That is not a right. It's not that you are a country, so you're automatically into this organization.
Yeah.
Okay, there's so many countries that are not into the organization. So it is an organization we agree, we take this country, we take this country, we take this country. It is the same like you have a WeChat group. Okay, you have 10 people. There's another guy want to come in. Okay, he's a nice guy. Let him in. So this is WTO. Really Being a member of WTO does not give you the right to stay there. So it is my right to stay in this WTO. Same like someone in the WeChat group, say when us in the WeChat group.
Slow down. Think. You're talking way too fast now.
This is my English teacher told me that you talk quicker.
It's too fast. It's like
You
Cantonese
talk
speakers.
more quickly than President Reagan.
No, the problem is you need to really slow it down because now you're getting excited. So just calm down. Because I have, especially native Cantonese speakers, oh my God, I can't understand them. I worked with this one lady on a project, and her husband was even American, and she was in Malaysia. Her English was so fast, it was unintelligible. And it's like, how do you tell someone to slow it down? And it's not that she didn't speak good English. It was just so fast. It was unbelievable. And then having an accent on top of it, a slight accent, hers wasn't too bad. But I couldn't understand. I had to listen like this, and I would miss probably 50% of what she was saying. And working on a project that was very bad. So please, just calm down. It's okay to speak slowly.
Thank you, lady. I will try to speak as slowly
No, just
as
normal.
President Reagan.
Normal.
Okay, so being a member in a WeChat group does not give you the right to stay there. You have the privilege because you behave good, you behave well, and you wrote your comments with sense, make points. People like you. You stay there.
Even if your comments don't necessarily make sense or you're missing the point, you're trying. As long as you're not trying to offend people. Mm-hmm. If you're intentionally trying to offend people and you're trying to be mean, then expect to be uninvited.
And also put your own commercial in it.
Oh, no
in it. And also you try to cheat other people, take advantage of all the members, you can be kicked out.
Yeah, because this is my house, and if you wear muddy shoes in, I'm going to ask you to go over there. You can't comment anymore, but you can still watch.
Over the fence?
Yeah, over the wall. That's up to you, how you get here.
I
don't provide transportation.
Anyway, I don't know if you get it out. Okay, first, we come back to the beginning. Duty is something you have to do. You must do. Then you must obey the law, and you must pay tax. And paying tax is a part of the law. Okay, being a citizen, you have to obey the law. You have to follow the law. Okay, that's a duty. And that is also another country is the government right to ask every single citizen to follow the law. It's their rights, right?
It's both. It's
both.
Duty.
Okay,
it's
duty. And then you have your rights. This right is the government duty to give you these rights.
What people are not understanding here, they want to put a definition on the government only having rights. The government is not a person. Mm-hmm. The government is an organization meant to make things better for the citizens. Yes. And all the people in government are citizens as well.
I understand. And government is the mother and the father of people.
No.
And all the people are the children of the government. You just listen to the government. Everything will be right. And you have to love your parents.
Okay. Why do you think people want to impeach Trump? What's the basis for impeaching Trump?
Because they want a stepfather.
No. What? Being serious here. What are they attempting to? What's the investigation about? To impeach him. Do you know? It's not about his love life. What's it about? We don't care about his love life. I mean, people care about his love life, but that's not illegal. Mm-hmm. Taxes. They want to investigate his tax history. Because as a citizen, it is his duty to pay taxes. He's held responsible as well. The government, the people change. The people are elected. It's the system. The people constantly change.
No, I have a problem then.
It's the system and the laws. It's the organization and how order is kept. The laws change. They're updated. Okay? We didn't even think about lesbian and gay marriages until 20 years ago. So, of course, there had to be laws.
You bring a big problem for me because
Why?
Chinese government, the Communist Party, only collect taxes. They only collect the money.
Xi Jinping doesn't pay taxes?
I don't know. He has very small amount of income, I think.
So what? Now, because Trump is president, his presidential salary is small compared to what it used to be. But he still has to pay taxes from his salary, even his presidential salary.
So can people see his tax paper?
Probably. I'm not sure.
I don't know if China is necessary to see our great leaders' tax paper.
I think the government officials are, it's their duty. I think that is part of what part of their contract and their job position, that they have to show their money. We have a right to know exactly where their interest is so that we know they're in the best interest of the people.
But I think the Chinese government, they collect the money for their own people anyway, so it's okay.
Yeah, so what's the big deal? You trust them, hey, right?
Yes.
You trust them to do what's best for you.
Yeah.
They're going to take care of your kids. They'll give them education, right? You get free education in China?
Before, yes.
No, now.
Now I don't have kids in China. I don't know.
Oh, okay. But before, like how long ago?
30, 40 years ago. But I had my free medication when I was in China. Yes.
Free medication?
Yes.
Okay.
30, 40 years ago.
So free medical care?
Yes.
Do they have it now?
I don't know. I suppose they have.
Well,
China is the second biggest economy in China in the world. Of course, they have free education and free medication. Of course, they should.
I don't have. I have free education. Like we have free education here, and we don't have free medication. That's for sure.
Norway has a free education. Norway have a free medication for everything.
I want to be a Norwegian citizen.
Marry me.
Is that official, or did you just was it a question after that, or was it just like a statement and possible solution?
Anyway, China, of course, Chinese government is the representative of Chinese people. So Chinese government, everything they do is for the people. Of course, China is the second biggest economy in the world.
Wait. Who's the first?
We forgot the name, and of course we are ready to replace that. So we don't need to remember the name. So China will have the best human rights record in the history and in the world, and we have.
They must, right?
We have the best education system in the world, and we have free education, and we.
Because I know that a lot of Westerners go to university in China. Like they fight to get into the universities, don't they?
Because we give huge scholarship for overseas students.
So you have a lot of American students.
Yes, and from Africa, from everywhere. We love people over the world. And also we have Confucius School all over the world. And also in America, we have Confucius School organized and funded by our government, and have free education to educate the people in...
Can I go there?
You have to contact our embassy.
Is it only for Chinese abroad?
No. Confucius School is purposely for the Americans, and
to re-educate us.
Yes, we teach you communism. Oh no, Confucius. I mean,
I was gonna say Confucius. What? Hold on, Confucius and communism. Sorry, they don't really go together at all, even a little bit.
I don't know how much we understand.
Confucius, if I'm not wrong, we were discussing this. Confucius was a contemporary of Socrates. He was they were around the same time. I don't think they knew each other because they were really far apart.
Confucius, we have a problem to teach. Why? Because the real Confucius was lost in the Qin dynasty, was burnt out. The only two persons explained Confucius.
People deep. I gotcha. I understand. That's happened. Actually, that's what happened with a lot of prophets as well as philosophers, and because in Europe, in the Dark Ages, They burned the Catholic Church, like burned so much. We don't even know how much was lost. It's unbelievable how much knowledge of the world and past was lost because they just burned it. It's disgusting.
Same like Socrates, and he did not have his own writing.
Plato. But he was only one person removed, and it was a student that spent a long time with him. So at least that was pretty close.
Yeah. But the people explained that Confucius was the one trying to help the government, trying to help the regime to maintain the power. So they have changed so much. Yeah. This is why Confucius today in Taiwan, in China, in every single professor, they explain differently. So this is why it's difficult for my government and my Communist Party to teach you Confucius. But for communism, we are the first hand. So we are very good at teaching that. So we this is our original. Okay, so this is why in Confucius school.
Not. Communism isn't original to China.
I mean, Chinese characterized communism.
Yeah, it was like China did not invent communism. Not at all.
See, we open mind. See, we learn from the West. Why you say we're against the West? We learn.
I didn't say you were against the West.
Some people do.
You're against the West right now.
Against the West.
So someone said we should kiss every other sentence. So that was for that person who was being a smart something.
Yeah. Anyway, every country has a good point and bad point, and but in my country only good points. We don't have bad points. So
why is that? How is that possible?
Because when it comes to election, 100% people say yes.
So you must be very happy.
Oh, we are the happiest people in the whole world. And this is why people climb the wall and come to YouTube and they say, so you don't understand China. We have the best. You know, I totally agree with that. You know, I really, there were so many movie stars change their citizenship into US and then they regret so much in the back China to go back. And this, what's his name? He made a massive action movie. He backed China for 3 times. China says, no, you have changed US, work with US. Of course, he doesn't speak much English. So I wonder, of course, she doesn't have a US lady either. Why she has to change the citizenship?
He or she. Please watch your genders, people. Men are he's. Women are she's. He still fights with this.
Yeah, I have equal rights for both. Okay. Yes.
Yeah, he uses them interchangeably. Yes. He doesn't discriminate.
Yes, absolutely. So
he and she are equal to you, huh?
Yes. Absolutely. So here has no gender discrimination or age discrimination. We love people in all ages, or even a young lady like this. I can tolerate, no problem.
You can tolerate, huh?
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. It's okay. You don't have to worry. Okay. It's okay. It's okay to be young.
Should I can add some wrinkles and white hair. Want me to do that if it makes you feel better?
It will come in time. So don't just wait. Okay. You don't have to
I'll be patient. I'll be patient.
Yeah. Okay. Are we clear about this topic today? And
I don't know.
Duty is duty you have to do. Right is that right that it cannot be taken away. And privilege is something you have to earn. You have to work.
With good behavior.
Good behavior. You have a reward.
Okay. All right. So I'm going to just do a real quick family overview so that everyone can relate to this, because everyone hopefully has family. So the parents are the government, although it's more authoritarian for a parent. And the parents say, okay, these are the rules of the house. These are the rules. You take your shoes off, you get home on time, you do your homework, you pass your exams. Okay? All right. These are the rules. If you violate these rules, there are going to be punishments for these rules. The kids say, okay, cool. And my rights are that I get to choose what we eat once a week. Like whatever is my favorite food. We get pizza once a week. Okay, that's my right. And these are things that are undeniable. The parent has to say, okay, you have to feed me every day. That's a child's right. And then the privilege, is that they get to choose. As long as they did well, they get you get to choose. You get pizza every week. If you want pizza on Fridays or Saturdays and a movie night, you get to choose the movie. And then when they get a little bit older, you might say, okay, so you did really well. Your grades came in. Now you're responsible. You can borrow the car. You can borrow the car as long as you have it back before 9 o'clock. And if they don't, then that privilege is then taken away. It's not a right of them to get that. They got that because they had good behavior and they showed the responsibility.
But they have the right to go to school and demand place to stay and demand food from parents.
And it is the parents' duty to get them to school and make sure they go to school and to feed them properly and to provide a house, a roof over their head, food in their stomach, clean clothes, shoes, all that stuff. That is a parent. As soon as you have a child, that is your duty. You have to do those things. Now, the kid has the rights that are imposed by the duties on the parent. Those are the rights. The child has the right to a bed to sleep in and food in their stomach and an education. All right, but the privileges are separate. The privileges are because good behavior. So grandma gives you candy because you made a good drawing and got an A from your teacher. And grandma said, you did good. You got an A. I'm going to give you candy. Every time you see grandma, if you have something to show her, an A to show her, she gives you candy. That's a privilege that she gave you. That's not a right to candy. Kids don't have a right to candy. There's no right to candy. No. Although they think they do. And then they protest. Very, very harshly protest.
Yeah. Why can't I have candy?
No,
it's my right. You are my grandma.
For the little ones, it's more like, they don't really protest properly. We've known some adults that protest like that, huh?
You attack our Chinese again.
I didn't attack